to welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about, say it with me, Latino everything. Thank you very much for joining another episode and another amazing episode full of amazing stories. I've been stuttering all day today. I don't know why, but I'm going to get right. Okay, today we have a mobile notary, bilingual Texas notary, signing agent, tax preparer, wedding officiant, and also an accomplished tax analyst who is passionate about educating clients about their rights on taxes. We have Norma James Jaimes and Rainbow Ocian. Correcto?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi. How you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you. I'm probably going to say like 20, 30, 40 times.
Well, we appreciate being here as well.
Awesome. And I feel like you have great, valuable information to share as well as an awesome story. So let's get to it. But first, what are you doing over there? You having don't focus the camera over there right now. We're going to do a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. If you have not taken the time to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe right now. Leave us a comment. You're already here. Enjoy. Help us grow. It's free. It's absolutely free to subscribe. You don't understand how much you help us. So thank you very much if you already have. Here we go. Are you ready? We're going to start with Rainbow, and then we're going to make our way to Norma.
Let's go.
Preguntas al Chile, tacos o tortas?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Why give me the questions like that? Tortas. Oh, we're answering the same one. Tacos.
Yeah, the same one.
Mm-hmm.
Corn tortilla, flour tortilla?
Flour, yeah.
Flour,
yeah.
Okay. Gorditas o sopes?
Gorditas.
Sopes, okay. Mexican coca o jarritos?
Damn. Jarritos, definitely.
What flavor?
Piña.
Piña?
Coca. That would have been mine too. Then he said jarritos. I was like, oh, no, I gotta stick with the classics.
Yeah, piña goes good with a torta.
Mm-hmm.
No, it really does. Okay, horchata, Jamaica o tamarindo?
I can't choose between horchata or Jamaica. They're my two favorite. I can't, yeah.
Okay, well, together? Have you ever mixed them to see what it
I'm going to say, yeah, I have. I actually have. So, yes, that was a dare, though. But you know what? It was good. It's a weird taste at first, but it's like sweet after, like the Jamaica taste.
Yeah.
So it's good. It sounds like chorro to me, baby.
I seen somebody talking about mixing horchata with, I forgot what it was. I think it was like...
freaking pecans? Oh, no.
It was...
Because those are good, too.
I think it was Sprite or something like that. It was mixing them. I don't know. But anyways, moving on to the next. And what about you? I was horchata, Jamaica. I like Jamaica, too. Mm-hmm. Salsa verde, salsa roja?
Neither. I don't eat anything spicy.
No?
Oh, you don't? I don't.
You're allergic?
I just don't. I rather taste all my food instead of burning my mouth.
We taste it, too. We just like extra.
I'm like the only one in my family that doesn't eat something spicy. I can't even handle hot Cheetos.
Really?
For reals, no.
No way.
Yeah, I cry.
You cry?
Like, I tear up. You know how something really spicy? Oh, my God. So many times people have pranked me like that, and I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. No. It is.
Yeah. What if she was allergic to it? And all of a sudden,
yeah, right? You start telling people, I'm allergic.
I know. Okay, what about you? Salsa verde, salsa roja?
Verde.
Verde. Yeah, team salsa verde. Menudo, pozole?
Menudo. Pozole.
Okay, so this one's going to be just for you. So you're from Nicaragua.
Yes.
Tell me 2 dishes that you are really favorite of you.
Nacatamal, which is the better version of tamales. Because tamales. Yes, they are. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all little tamales. And then
depends who's making them.
Yep. No, nacatamal. And arroz a la anciana.
Okay, which one will you pick?
Between those two? Oh, damn.
See, I set it up.
Oh, you did. Those are my 2 favorite.
Even split? Can you pick?
I can't think.
Okay. All right, give me 2 more dishes from Nicaragua. Very typical.
Gallo pinto.
Gallo pinto.
And then buñuelos.
Okay. So which one will you pick?
Gallo pinto.
Gallo pinto. I'm thinking that's chicken. That's chicken, right?
Actually, no.
Really?
It's a certain beans and rice mixed together with certain spices. I know gallo pinto in Mexican is different. Like Mexican.
Well, pico de gallo is different. Yeah.
Oh, no. So y'all call it gallo pinto the same thing, but just rice, though, right?
It's a certain type of rice and a certain red bean made with certain spices mixed together, fried.
Got you.
It's so good.
So what's so special about the tamales? They're better than Mexican
First of all, it's a whole
tamales?
meal. It's like in the banana leaf. It's like
oh yeah,
this
banana leaf
huge.
is pretty good.
You can make it several different ways. I actually just recently made it my first time with my cousin.
Really?
We made it with chicken and pork split.
Yeah.
With olives, papas, tomate, chiltomo. Or
What's
like,
chito?
What's
it's
chito?
the y'all call it chile verde.
Chile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Onions, rice.
That is a whole meal.
It is a full meal. It's
It's a whole
so
freaking
good.
Well, you said
I wish I had
made
seen
some now that I remember. You haven't.
You didn't give it?
Everyone
It's
came to
been-
my house.
It's been years.
Everyone came to my house and took it. I barely got one.
Really?
Yes, because they're so good.
Mission.
You can make it different ways, but that's like the base way to make
It
it.
sounds freaking.
It's
crazy.
delicious.
It sounds pretty like.
Oh.
It sounds huge. Okay, continuamos. Churros o flan?
Churros.
Flan. I hate flan.
You don't like flan?
I don't
I
like the
like
texture.
Texture. I figure. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Valentina, tapatio, cholula.
I guess
Sauce?
Valentina.
No. Well, you do. So you can do that.
I do one drop and a big ass
That's it.
elote. One drop. More
That's
than that,
Give me a second. I got to burp.
What about you, Norma?
Cholula.
Cholula. She has water, by the way, in her cup. Pure H2O.
Yeah, it's just water.
Brown, the conchitas, the pastries. Do you like the brown ones, the white ones, or the pink ones?
the pink ones.
What about yourself? Chocolate? They do actually have a different flavor. You know that?
Which flavor?
The chocolate ones, they do have a little bit of hint of chocolate. And the other ones are like, I've been thinking the white ones are vanilla, and then the other ones have some weird mix. But there is a small difference. If you Google it, that's what Google did. Google lied to me before. Google lied to me.
And then tells the truth.
But as far as I know, they are
Yeah.
different flavors.
The chocolates, I made them. You put cocoa powder. That's
Yeah,
why
you
it's
do,
different.
right? So it is a little bit different. Okay, so this one's going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure y'all going to enjoy it. A conspiracy theory that you can almost guarantee it has to be true. Rainbow. I love your name, by the way. Rainbow.
Thank you. Like from Nicaragua or just in general?
Any conspiracy theories that you ever heard? Nicaragua would be even better if you have one.
Hmm.
I don't think I'd say any conspiracy theory. You know what? That the military is the one that kills our presidents over there, and they decide. And they're the ones in real power in Nicaragua.
So you think, like they call it here, the deep state, somebody's actually running one in Nicaragua that is not the actual-
Definitely.
for sure.
Definitely. There's just presidents that are only supposed to be in, I don't want to say power, but, you know, for like here, they have 4 years?
Yeah.
In Nicaragua, I don't know for sure, but I think it's the same time frame. And yet it's the same president for like 10, 16 years.
Do they have re-elections?
Yeah.
So here's only 2 re-elections, 2 terms, and that's it.
And then the way that like my father describes everything, how the country's run and how, like my family had to leave. It's definitely the military that controls everything.
Okay,
Kinda like
we'll
Mexico.
touch that up because I would love to hear that story here shortly. What about you? A conspiracy theory that you can almost guarantee it has to be true.
That the military is aware of Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
They are aware of it. Whatever
That's
they
not
have
why I changed
in
mine.
there
Aliens
is
are
very
real.
suspect. I'm pretty sure they have the chupacabra in there.
Oh, yes.
yeah, probably.
I actually have a story with the chupacabra. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. My mom says it was a wolf, but it was in Texas, in our house, in Garland.
What area of Garland?
In Garland. Wolf in Garland.
What year about when the chupacabra was like a thing?
No.
It was back in like 2000s, I think.
It's always
I
been a
guess
thing for kids.
we had a goat in our house. It was such a beautiful goat. I hated that goat, but it was a beautiful goat. And I used to love like being outside as a kid. I grew up in a household of 13. So we didn't have that much space. So I would always be outside at night. And I would hear in my bedroom. Yeah, we had a hammock. We had a hammock. Yeah. And our goat was outside and I heard this like screeching and this. It was so freaking weird. The whole household woke up and then my mom quickly got me inside. And I wasn't supposed to. We had a sliding door from the kitchen to the living room. And, kids are nosy.
Yeah, of course.
And I slid and that goat was ripped from here, like all the way, all its insides were out. And my mom was like, oh, it was just a wolf. A wolf is not going to do that. And the skin was still attached. It was just the insides that were out.
See, I wouldn't think it's a chupacabra because the chupacabra literally left like 3 marks and the blood was gone. Like all the blood was sucked out of the whatever it was. That's what they call it, chupacabra, because literally there was like not only goats but cows too. You found like a few incisions and then sucked dry. That was like
I feel it was torn.
my theory on the chupacabra is that some alien landed and the pet got away. That was their pet, and they couldn't catch it, and it was like doing havoc and eating all this animal's tail. They finally caught it because all of a sudden it just disappeared. What happened to the chupacabra? It left. Well, the owner or the alien owner captured it. And
got the tracker tag.
This is just
Like, I have a big imagination.
I know.
Well, it could be true. You never know. That's interesting. I've never heard that.
I was
That's
thinking, what can
interesting.
it be? I'm like, it has to be. It was described as some kind of wolf-looking thing. Sound like a pet. So I'm like, if it was a pet, it got away from whoever the owner was, and then eventually it just disappeared. Like, okay, so it couldn't have died because we weren't able to get it and see it. So maybe they just got it back and took it wherever the hell they came from.
Okay, I could see that. Or I feel like I've seen descriptions of it, like mixture of a Tasmanian devil and like kind of horns and hunchback. So
I think all of us have a great imagination and we see stuff that maybe doesn't exist. But the way that I seen it is like a dog-looking thing with like spikes in the back.
Yeah.
And that's the one you seen too? Yeah.
Bro. Yeah.
Okay, so when you hear the word Latino, what comes to mind first?
family.
Rainbow, family.
Same. Family, yeah.
I like that. You're not gonna copy her answers.
No,
the whole
it's
time.
seriously family.
Family. Like I
feel
think
like
Okay,
I feel like
elaborate.
family united. I think getting together into meal, just a homeness.
Yeah.
That's what I feel when I hear Latino.
What about you? Elaborate on the family thing.
well, I just feel like it. Maybe this is my family problems, but I'm talking about immediate family, like
Gotcha.
siblings,
Of
mom.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true because I think if it's something about Latinos that we take pride of is in our family being united,
Yeah.
being always around each other and making sure that we're taken care of. That's
We
pretty
build
dope.
each other up, or at least we're supposed to build each other up. Not every
Family, but
family, but that's how
I
it's
mean,
supposed
it
to.
happens. I mean, it's crazy that a few family members. It just depends on what happened to them, why they are the way they are, or whatever. But there's no excuse. But there's a few family members that we can't really totally outcast them. We gotta kind of sort of steal
be
best that
around.
we can. But there's some of them things that are not unexcusable. It's kind of hard to forget and forgive. So I see why people would literally stay away from certain family members.
Yeah.
It's the toxicity, and then I feel like how people, old school,
Yeah.
they excuse a lot of the toxicity because family's supposed to stand by each other no matter what. But I think now people need to hold family members accountable.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel that because otherwise we're not going to be able to grow
Nope, we'll stay stuck.
and take our generation and the next generations further if we just keep doing the same thing. They've been keeping us in the same
Repetition,
place and not grow and take our family further.
We need to see the bigger picture
Yeah,
instead of our old
absolutely.
values,
Yeah,
old
because-
traditional values. We need to
because-
modernize them.
You're right.
Yeah, so
because
fuck
certain-
that tia that miss me. I'll just play.
Because all those things
No, my
eventually
tia.
they have to.
Don't come for me.
those ideas have to be like.
They're old. They're old
outdated.
traditions.
Yeah.
And we're in modern times.
Okay. So before we get to the interview, you had a very interesting story. So you're from Nicaragua.
Yes.
You were born here, but your parents were from Nicaragua.
Yes.
Can you share the story to us?
How the story goes, there was a war. There's still kind of like a guerra going on entre los from like to generalize like the villagers, against the government,
In
political.
Nicaragua.
Yes, my dad was an ingeniero.
Yeah, engineer.
Yeah, an engineer. I forgot what. And then my mom was a socialite, so she's from money. I had several uncles in the political field,
Right.
and they put a hit out on my family. I want to say, 4 older sisters that were already born there, and they were going to kidnap them, kill my mom and my dad, and put them in the cocoa fields. And how it goes, the cocoa fields were for the military guys to have fun with the women there.
Yeah, of course.
So my mom got a call from my uncle who worked in, with the campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, y'all need to come here. I have y'all's papers done that he already filed for them to fly. And they left with nothing, just whatever they had on their backs. And they were leaving in one of the trucks of the workers. And then the militaries passed by in that second.
Serious?
Yes,
That's like a movie scene.
it is. And that's the only, like that call, had she not got it, I wouldn't be here.
That's so
And
true.
they left with, my mom. It was such a big culture shock for her because my dad, he was born in the village. He came from nothing and got everything. But my mom was a socialite. She grew up in money and having nothing when she got here. And she was a lawyer too. Like she went to school. She was a lawyer. And, you know, when she got here, nothing.
How did your mom fall in love with your dad, being so different from different backgrounds? One with money, one without money.
I don't know if I could tell the story of how they got married, but
arranged marriage or no?
They were 10 years different. My dad met my mom at a party. My dad's dark skinned, and over there in Nicaragua, it's very racially biased.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, I'm not going to be with you ever. So my dad went to my great-grandparents and were like, if you don't give me your, daughter's hand in marriage, I'm going to go spread some rumors.
Really?
Yes.
He fought for love?
Por capricho.
But your mom went along with it, or she could have ran out?
Back in those days,
she couldn't run away.
No, and then how it would look upon the family name. Even here, my mom brought us up with those old values, like, something that used to be in my family, ponte chinita, like everything perfect, nothing to question our family.
Never heard that saying.
It's a snicker. Yeah, it's like like a China doll, ponte chinita. Everything had to be perfect. Nothing could besmirch the family name. She brought us up like that here in the U.S., even though it's not really like that over here. But that was done, and they got married, and they ended up having kids.
That's crazy. I always feel funny about that saying, like, ¿qué van a decir de, o proteger el apellido and different things like that.
Yeah, growing up in those, like, rich, socialite families, like, the name is what mattered more. Even if they were down on the luck, at least you had your name. And, here growing up.
I like the way she say, at least you had your
name. No, like, that's,
not Dutton Ranch from Yellowstone, you know what I mean?
Like, it's your name holds power. Like, if I go to Nicaragua, I know even to this day where to go, and my family name has power. And it shouldn't, because I've never even been there, but it does. It's still stuck in that old era.
I got you. But certain of those values, old school, like some of them are outdated, but some of them are very, like, they were important, and I think they can still translate here.
Some, not all.
Some, not all.
Like my mom, I feel like she would have probably had a more, not just advantageous life, but just a different life entirely had she not been married to my dad. It was a marriage that she was put into.
Got you. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it wasn't that she wanted that 100%. And it's crazy.
And my dad says the story very prideful, like very, I did it. Like years later, I asked him, because sometimes my mom exaggerates.
They're still together?
My mom passed away, but they were together until, yes, they were together until she passed away. But I asked him, I was like, how did it happen? He's, oh yeah, that's exactly how your mom said it. Yeah, I wanted her.
That's crazy.
My dad wanted her. He got her.
But how was it? Okay, so one thing that's not adding up for me. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's true. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying he was with no money, or...
Well, no, at the time that they met, he was already established. He was, but he came from nothing and was that. And he was 25 and she was 15.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes, for one.
To be arrested, but it used to be back in the days.
Back in the
but those customs do need to be left behind.
Yeah,
definitely behind.
And then he straight up said, like, if you don't marry your daughter to me, I'm gonna go tell everybody that she's not a virgin. And I remember my mom would tell me, my mom told me, she's like, that she begged her parents, like, take me to a doctor, show that I'm not, that I'm still a virgin. And even doing that would cause damage to our family name. So they're like, no, like, we can't. So you have to, even if it's not true.
Your pops was ruthless a little bit.
Por capricho. Yeah. I mean, that he.
But like, did they love each other?
Yeah.
Did he learn to grow to love her eventually?
Yeah. Well, they loved each other. They definitely had love for each other, but it was a different environment growing up than I've seen, like, having love in the home, you know?
Yeah, that's true, because I guess it was that movie, that 365 or something like that, when they...
Like, or no, I was going to say Life 360. Where that guy kidnapped that
that's that kind of like that, where eventually he grows. It's 365 or something like that, I think. You never seen it? It's a
It's on
Netflix
Netflix.
movie.
No, what's
Something like kidnaps or
So
something.
the guy is a mafia guy. He kidnaps the girl and keeps her in the room until eventually she falls in love with him after like before the 365
That's
days.
what it's called.
I think
365.
it's called 365 or 360 or something like that.
That's on Netflix.
It was on
Watch it
Netflix. I don't know if
today.
it's still.
I mean, I grew up.
I
in a
mean,
good
but be
home.
ready. Don't watch it around kids.
Yeah, I grew up in a good home, and they had beautiful moments and all. But you know,
It was different
it's
times,
something.
too.
It's different times, and then someone being forced into a marriage that they didn't want
That's true.
at that age too.
Yeah, that's true too. There's really not a lot of saying that you had.
No, and then over there, like girls or women don't have saying. Like she's,
And that
she was
can,
put
and
into it.
not only that, but a rumor can put you in that situation that you can't, even if you want to go to the doctor to discredit,
You can't.
just by that act alone will put you in a weird situation for your name, like your name, your whole family's name.
It will tarnish everyone, not just everyone in the family. And that's crazy.
And over here, you get to the United States, if you want to change your name,
Okay.
you pay a few thousand, and your name's changed. Okay, what about you? So you're Mexico. You were born in Mexico. You were brought here as a baby?
Baby, yeah, when I was like 7 months.
7? So you have no recollection at all.
No, but I recently went to Acapulco because we're from Guerrero.
So that's where your family
Well, it's
originally?
about 6 hours away from Acapulco, but we went to the tourist area because it's bad over there.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah.
It's very different than here. You see people with guns just like standing like it's normal, like military
You're
guys.
talking about in the actual resorts?
No, everywhere.
Everywhere?
Like in the whole calles, everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they just stand there like it's normal, and people just walk by. It's very different.
It's
How do you-
normalized over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is normalized, but it's not. Okay.
It shouldn't be.
Normalized. But how did it make you feel to see that over there like that compared to the way that we have it here?
I think it made me more sad to see, like, okay, hopefully people don't get offended, but you see here young people that are like Americans asking for money and stuff. Allá si ves un viejito, like they're selling snow cones, they're selling keychains, they're selling whatever they can to get their money. And you see them with no shoes, or you just see them like they look really humble and poor. And it made me feel sad. Like I would be like, just keep the tip. Sometimes I would just be like giving them money. I'd be like, I don't need it. I don't need anything. Just here.
But they're willing to go out there and get it and
That's what I'm
hustling.
saying. Yeah, they're-
What about the gun part? Seeing people with guns all over, how did that make you feel?
At first, I was like, okay, so we were walking because over there's what we call combis, so like buses.
Yeah, compi.
But we didn't get familiar because I went with my husband, so we weren't aware of the situation. We were just walking to gas stations, walking everywhere, and a truck de la ¿cómo se llama? ¿Cómo le dicen la militia, policía? You know what I'm
Los
talking
policías federales.
about? Federales,
Yeah,
okay.
los federales.
They just pulled up like
Federal rallies.
like a whole truckload in the back. They were just like standing with their guns, and they just came out running. I was like, oh shit, we're in the middle because we were like right here, like right next to the truck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck, like what do we do? What do we do? And my husband was just like, just keep walking, act normal. I was like, all right. So we went to the gas station. We got a little 40s. We were gonna go drink at the Airbnb. And they were just standing there, and it was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of scary.
And it's normalized.
It's normal.
No, in Nicaragua, I remember one time my dad came back from visiting because he goes very often, as much as he can.
So he doesn't have a hit anymore as far as like.
No, it was on
Any
my
kind of
mother's.
trouble? Oh, on your mother's
Because,
side.
like I said, my dad came from the
Okay.
bottom up, but my mom's family was a socialite. But no, even our moms, we don't have that. That was more back in the day. He was there. He was going down in Leon, which is the capital. My mom's from Leon. He's from Managua. And he was like showing me a video of the capital. And out of nowhere, all you see is like a Molotov cocktail. And he didn't, he just kept going. Just like normal, like nothing. And I was like, Papa, like, enséñame eso otra vez. He's like, yeah, eso pasa siempre. I'm like, what the heck? It's so normalized,
Yeah.
the corruption, the destruction of Latin communities.
I feel like it's like, yeah.
It's just, yeah, it happens. You gotta move on.
Today.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
And when you came back to the States, how did it make you feel realizing all the stuff that safe?
I felt safe.
Even with all the how people see it as not being too safe and what kinds of crazy stuff supposedly that happens here, which there is some crazy stuff, don't get me wrong, but compared to other places in the world, we're pretty safe.
Well,
We're more sheltered from it.
That's
yeah,
too.
that. Because over there, I mean, so we met my dad over there because my dad, it's a whole story with him. Like, he went to jail, he got deported, all that shit. So I haven't seen him in a long time because he built his own family. And so he knew his way around because he has that Pueblo accent. But as soon as he left, because he was only in Acapulco for a couple of days, and he left, and people started trying to scam us.
Oh yeah, they'll take your money.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hustlers.
everywhere.
They gotta make their
Yeah.
any touristy place. They know that you're from, you're a freaking tourist. They're gonna try to take you for some.
When they try, just like okay.
Sometimes I do.
Or when they do give you the, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna give you money, so you're gonna have to rip it off of me if you want it back.
Yeah, I would rather have. I seen videos, crazy videos like that. But I would like, no, por favor. But if I want to, I wouldn't barter with them. I wouldn't negotiate whatever they want. I would give them additional to me. But that would just be me if I was to do that, because I know that's how they make their living and they're working really hard. And sometimes they're depending on that. And if I have it to give, then I would give it to them. But I would get something from them. You know, I wouldn't try to negotiate the price down. At least for me.
For me, I always say no, and I feel like
that's true. I do say no.
I get not annoyed, but like if I say no, don't make me say no 5-6 times.
Yeah.
I went to Rome with a cousin of mine. We were at, I forgot, you know that fountain, the one that's in the Lizzie McGuire movie?
Yeah.
We went there, so many tours, and there's this one person that literally, he just kept like, I'll take your picture, and we're taking our own picture. I was like, no, I don't like to be touched either. And he was like, oh, I'll take, you already know. I'm like, if you touch me and ask me one more time, I'm gonna punch you.
This rainbow's gonna turn to
like I'm a pacifist, but I also
respect space.
Also, I'm like, I did boxing for years, bro. Don't get me there. And I'm like, I already told you politely no several times. Stop touching me. Stop. Like, I'm not gonna give in. Like, just stop. Oh, but they push.
Rome is freaking beautiful, ain't it? It's like a whole movie set to me, at least, when I went to visit.
Of Italy, Rome was my least favorite, and I feel like it was just so overrun by tourists.
Yeah. Well, when I went, maybe it was because it was in October, and it wasn't.
I went in January.
I felt it was pretty cool. I felt like a whole.
It was beautiful, but it was just so much tourists.
But besides the tourists, at the time, doesn't it look like a whole movie set?
Oh yeah,
it looks like a freaking movie set. Like there's stuff ruins just. There's ruins literally right there, just laying down, like, and nobody's picking them up. Like, nobody's gonna pick this up, but it's just part of the ruins that have been there for freaking years. Yeah. Like, that's freaking crazy. And then the the Colosseum and all that stuff. Like, man, it was dope. I like it. It is very life changing whenever you see it and you get to touch it. Yeah. God, you're gonna definitely do it. Okay, so let's start. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Did I get everything on the intro correct? I didn't want to make sure. Okay. So in 2020, you took, something happened to you that you saw that you wanted to make a difference as far as notary. What did you notice? What did you saw? And why did you wanted to become a notary?
So I had to get some documents notarized, and I called a lot of places around, and I don't know, they just didn't seem genuine. So I was like, what if I start a business?
What did you hear that make you think that they weren't genuine? Like they weren't willing to help you because they heard something?
It's because there's too much with notary. Like there's too much to even talk about, which I shouldn't even talk about because people are going to do it regardless. But just like scamming wise, it didn't seem legit.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'm just going to start my business. And I did. And it's been going good.
Okay. So, but not only that, in addition to, but you also wanted to make sure you focus on the Latino, the Hispanic community, because why?
Well, because most of my family doesn't, my tias don't speak English much. Most of them don't. And I've noticed that a lot of people, it's mostly English speaking, so I want to focus on my people to help them out. So I've been getting most of that crowd as far as like clients.
Did you notice that also there wasn't a lot of notaries that were either, that were Hispanic, not to mention the language too, they didn't know?
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of notaries.
Now.
Anyone could be a notary, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Pero que lo hagan bien es otra cosa. And not
You were right.
I do. And I speak good English and good Spanish, so I feel like more people would trust me because of that.
Okay. So if I was somebody from the streets and I wanted to become a notary the right way, what is the steps that I have to take based on what you went through to kind of sort of do the right steps to become the right notary and do it for the right reasons and do it correctly?
I mean, you got to study. You have to learn the Texas laws, first of all.
So what you did first? You started looking at the
Well, you have to pay to become a notary. So first I became a notary. I didn't notarize anything till I knew legitly, because what a lot of people don't know is that matriculas, you cannot use them to notarize the document.
So one more time, repeat that again.
matrículas, like matrículas consulares de Mexico or other countries, is not accepted here in Texas.
It's not accepted here in Texas.
Yeah, and every other state, they have different laws. Like California, I feel it feels like more lenient than Texas. So you have to learn all of that. And I've seen notaries tweak documents and shit. Stuff like that they aren't supposed to be doing. So then the clients call me and they're like, well, this last person did this for me. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but I can't do that for you. Not that I don't want to help you, but I could lose.
You're helping them in the long term.
Yeah.
The right way.
And you're explaining it to the reason why you're not able to do it because it's not legal. And not only you can get your stamp taken out, but they can get in trouble too for forging documents for the state of Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the most interesting? Okay, so after you do that, you have to take a course, right, to be able to become a notary?
I can't remember. I have to take. So I do notary for closings. Like whenever you buy a house, there's a notary that comes to you. I had to take a course for that. For that, yes, I had to take a full course. But for a regular notary, I can't really remember. But I know that they ran a background check for that.
Okay. So I was looking into how to become a notary on Google because, I have to know what I'm doing. So apparently there is a course that you have to take. And then after you finish the course, well, first you have to make sure that you're over the age of 18. Make sure that you're not a criminal. You don't have any kind of funny business going on. And then after that, you have to take the course. And then you have to solicit your supplies for the notary, which is your stamp and all kinds of other different things like that. But then in addition to that, you went even further and became a notary to do closings for mortgage. Like whenever you're doing the closing or purchase of a home or even a refinance.
Trailing homes, HELOCs, anything like that.
How many pages do you have to do?
Ooh, it depends. On like HELOCs could sometimes be up to 300 pages.
I know. So I did mortgage for a little while. Okay, I didn't prepare, but I know the package that entails.
Yes.
And there's a lot of documents.
It's very hard sometimes, but thankfully I've only messed up 2 times.
Okay, how did you mess up, and how did you realize it was messed up, and how you correct?
Oh, it's not that bad. It was I just missed a stamp, like my seal. That's all I did. But I still messed up.
What's a good tip for the stamp? What do you have to do whenever you stamp it?
Make sure you put a stamp on every time you have the state of, county of, and then you have your notary section. Just put the stamp unless the company or the mortgage company states otherwise.
So you got to base off what they want, how they want it.
Well, some specify what they want, but the ones that don't, I just be like, boop, boop, boop. I ain't messing up again.
You do have to stamp it and hold it a couple seconds and then pull the technique. Yeah. I'm just saying though, because people will be missing. Because it has to be able to be legible on whenever you print it out.
Yes.
So whenever you make copies of it, that stamp still has to be very legible. See how I did my homework? Man, I'm ready to become a notary.
YouTube just does everything, huh?
No, not everything, but I know there's other stuff that you have to do and things like that. And I know there's a responsibility that you have to take. Like, what are some consequences for you? Really, like, let's say you were not one of those good notaries that does it, that correct things. What could be the consequences for somebody doing it the wrong way? Hello, quickly jumping in to let you know. I know that you are enjoying the show, so go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and now back to the episode.
Well, you can get fined. That's why you have to have insurance.
And the fines are?
Hefty.
Yeah.
It depends on what mistakes you do. For general notary, you have to have a different insurance. And then for loan signing, which is what I do, you have to have another insurance. So
you have to get insurance in addition to insurance?
2 different ones.
Okay, explain to me the only thing that lost me on the things that I was learning on YouTube was the freaking bond. Because when I'm thinking of bond, I'm thinking of like...
You getting your out of jail.
You know what I mean?
That's what I thought.
I ain't saying I've never been to jail, but I know a little bit about getting bonded.
Something like that in the same region.
So I might have experience with getting bonded.
You're talking about savings bonds, CDs, right?
But the bonds, the
security bonds.
Okay, so how does those work exactly? How do you even go about getting one?
Well, once you become a notary, you have to get your surety bond.
$10,000 here in Texas, right?
You could start, minimum.
Minimum.
And then for notary, it starts off, I think, at 100,000, but I have my 1 million insurance.
And how much you have to pay for that?
Don't ask.
I mean, I'm just saying for the general public.
It depends. No, it's because there's so many companies. It's like you go to Progressive or you can go to could be other insurance.
Why did you feel going for, instead of the minimum, why did you wanted to go for the million? Because of what? The coverage?
Cover everything. And on top of that, I work with good clients. I work with good title companies
with higher clientele,
higher clientele, like $1 million homes and stuff.
Okay, so I don't want to get into your business how much you pay, but it's like you don't have to pay the $1 million. You have to pay them the insurance a certain amount.
Yeah, I think the minimum is like maybe I think 50,000 or 75. I don't know because I never got it. I did get 100,000, and then that's when I went up to $1 million. So
got you. And then you pay that all at once, or do they give you like a loan for you to pay that?
No,
bond?
You pay that monthly.
Monthly.
Yeah, they just take it out of your card.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do that. See, that's what I'm saying.
Think of insurance as like a car.
It's like a car.
Same principle, just higher stakes.
Because when they went into bond and the lady was explaining, they were doing, I had like 5-6 videos and I was getting the hang of it, but they were not going into detail about the bond. I'm like, so how do you go about getting the bond? And what the heck is a bond? Because my understanding of bond is different from a notary bond. So you start soliciting insurance that you want a bond, and then after that you settle with whatever you wanted to, 10,000, 100,000, the higher the better. And then after that you make arrangements with them to pay them accordingly monthly, and then that's it. That's how you get it. But you have to have that in order to be a notary.
You have to have that. Yes, because if anything happens, let's say you do a closing wrong or you forge the document like some notaries do here, and they come after you
like this.
No, I do my bad. I use my hand motions a lot, but let's just
point that way.
She's not a notary. She's not a notary, guys. But
no self-incriminating. I told you that earlier.
No, she's not even a notary.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's because I move my hands a lot. But yeah, like let's say someone messes up and they come, the state of Texas comes and they're like, hey, you're going to get fined and you're going to lose your certificate. Like you can't do that anymore. You got to pay.
Do you think that people do it the wrong way because they know they have insurance to get away with in case something gets caught?
I'm not sure how, I don't want to quote on notaries, but like in tax fields, they do it because they can get away with it. They can take advantage of people. Like, they can say, oh, I'm going to promise you this and this and this, and it's going to be $500, $800. Give me the money up front. They do it the wrong way, and they're not liable. It's now the client. And so they're gone. And now the person that they did the services for has to deal with the aftermath. And that's what.
We'll get into your tax part.
But then,
we both do taxes. Yeah.
I feel like everyone does it when they do it crooked because they want to benefit.
We've had those calls before. Yeah.
Okay, we'll touch on the tax here in just a second. Let me get done with the notary part. Okay, so for Latinos and for Hispanics, what is the most challenging part? For them to understand the matriculas are not allowed, or just for them to go through the process of explaining the documents? Because I know for a fact, working in the mortgage industry with Latinos, it takes twice as long for you to explain a document, or even get them to understand what is the document that you need or the reason why you're doing it. Look, whenever first of all, your job is not to explain the document. Your job is to get it signed.
Yeah, but I'll go over some information. Like, well, with closings, I do. Like, I'm like, okay, this is like your promissory note, or this is this and that. But I don't go into details like running numbers, because that's something that should have already been explained with the title company,
The processor and the closing agent.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I don't do that. But sometimes they're like, hey, ¿por qué es esto y esto y esto? I'm like, pues tiene que hablar con esta persona, and they don't like that. But for general notary in Mexico, a notario público is completely different than a notary public here in Texas. And that's where a lot of people get mad at me over the phone, because they're like, pues es que tú tienes que hacer el documento, and I'm like, no.
You're not able to generate documents.
No, we cannot.
Here at all whatsoever.
Texas at all. And people have done that before, which they shouldn't. But yeah, that's where they start tweaking stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no. Like, I'm not going to lose my license because I make more money doing closings and stuff. So
yeah, that is true. So some of the things they bring from whatever they know about a notario público in Mexico, they have that knowledge, thinking that here in the state is the same, but here is a notary, public notary, or
we cannot use the term notario público here in Texas, because people automatically think, oh, you are like a lawyer in Mexico,
and you're not,
and we're not lawyers.
Okay, so you're a notary
public.
Notary public.
Yeah.
See, I always thought it was a public notary, but it's a notary public.
I mean, either or, I guess, as long as they know it's from Texas.
It's a phrase,
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's crazy, because it's crazy from being in one culture, coming to a different country, thinking that it's like, even though the translation is the same, it's not not the same meaning as far as what you're able to. So why would a person need a notary here in the States? Why would you want to besides the closing, we understand that because the closing has to be certified, make sure it is. But why would you want to?
Everything. I mean,
if you want to give someone
a car or an affidavit or a divorce decree, you need a notary.
Someone to watch your kids.
Someone to watch your kids. Your child needs to travel to another country. You won't be present. You need that consent form because I've had people call me that their child was stuck at the border. Yeah, power of attorney.
Power of attorney.
There's like so many things that you can get notarized.
Dang. Yeah. And you have to have it notarized.
You have to.
If it's not legal.
What is the stamp gives it more than just me writing a paper to somebody? What is it?
We work for the state of Texas.
Anyone can write a paper.
Yeah.
But as a notary, it's like you're putting it's illegal. You're legalizing it. It's more. It holds up more in the court of law.
In the court of law,
as opposed to, hey, my child can stay with fulano de tan cual, as opposed to no, legally, if in my absence, this person is responsible.
Yeah.
Or this can be done in my absence. Yeah. Or like a power of attorney for someone who's disabled or someone in a coma or military, things like that.
Okay, and for anybody that wants to solicit your services to notarize, whether it be closing or whether it be just notarizing a document, whatever it be, what are the valid identifications that you have to have in order for you to be able to check in your part the required documents for you to complete the stamp?
Valid U.S. ID, driver's license, passport. For real estate documents, you can use a valid foreign passport.
Yeah.
So
for HELOCs, you cannot use a power of attorney whenever you're doing the HELOCs.
HELOCs sometimes do have power of attorney.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
In Texas?
Yep. I'm doing one tomorrow. Well, 2 tomorrow, actually.
For POAs?
HELOC?
Is that new? Yeah, HELOC.
Limited power of attorneys? Yeah.
They can do a HELOC?
Uh-huh. Attorney? Because all it's saying, well, depending on the document, but a limited power of attorney just means that if, like, the signer messes up a document, we can just write over it and initial it saying that it's been corrected.
Okay, what about a cash out refi? Are you able to do a POA? Is it the same?
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn I thought it was different, but...
When was that? How long were you?
How long were you studying?
Yeah. Like
2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
To my understanding, the POA wasn't able to be used on a HELOC or a cash out refi.
Been at that time.
Yeah, but you're right.
Always certain.
It depends on the document.
Mortgage changes a lot in their rules of things like that. And I know that we're pushing HELOCs a whole lot more for the past few years. So I don't doubt if they changed a couple of things. I just thought that it isn't the case, but
it depends. Yeah. It depends on the docs. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That was awesome. Thank you. And you're a notary. If you need your services, you have a website. So you took it serious. You created a whole website and everything.
Yep.
So what gave you the drive to want to make sure that you do it correctly? Because it seems like you want to make sure that it gets done correctly, right?
Yeah.
Did you have an experience that made you think, like, I have to do this right? I cannot just go out in here doing the things like everybody else wants to do it, and it's not the right way.
No, I just wanted to help people, honestly. Like I said, the first time that I got something notarized, it was around one of those mom and pop shops where they do taxes and notary. And we're not supposed to write down the ID numbers and stuff. And I had to get something notarized. And this girl wrote my whole driver's license. For my first business that I registered. She put my license on the the document that I was taking to Dallas County. And the lady's like, you got to take that back. She cannot do that. So I think that's when I started kind of getting involved. I'm like, okay.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
That is not cool. And what are some big no-nos for notaries to make sure not to do 100? Like, you absolutely cannot do this or you're behind, will get in trouble, that some people might see as like, it's not a big deal.
Using a matricula.
And printing out documents.
And making the documents. Like, they type everything down for them and then notarize it after. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You'll get in trouble.
Make sure you do the right thing if you're going to be in a notary, because it is, from my understanding, it is a profitable hustle and there is a lot of notaries, but I mean,
they won't make it unless they're likable.
That's true.
It sounds wrong, but it's true. Like, you have to have a customers. Yeah.
So you have to have, not in addition to just having the stamp. If you don't go out and have a nice personality, be friendly, have good customer service, then they're not gonna.
You have to get people's trust.
Yeah. Will not do that.
That's true.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay. What did you say?
I trust you.
So y'all business partners, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so and then the business is the same one that y'all have, or you have a different business? So
we piggyback.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with you, Rainbow. I like that name, by the way. Did I say that already?
Yes.
Arcoiris.
Yeah.
How did you? So you started when you were 18 years old. You started doing taxes with a company,
Yes.
H&R Block.
They were actually the first people that ever started doing taxes for other people. Before H&R Block opened, everyone was required to do their own taxes. But the IRS, don't quote me on that. I'm just saying my opinion.
Your opinion.
They purposely kind of make everything complicated. You know, the language, the legalese that they use. It's hard to understand for some people. So that's when the creators of Block
They do that. What will be the benefit of them doing
to penalize people to get more money out of it. You know, you make some mistake, there's penalty, there's a fine right there that you now owe them because you just simply didn't know or didn't understand, or you filled something out in the wrong way, or you filled something out and you send it off to them, and then they're like, "Hey, you did it wrong, and now you filed late, so now there's multas, there's fines, there's fees." You know, that's the only reason I could see why someone would make it so complicated. There's other countries that they do their taxes for the citizens, you know, but
Really?
yeah.
Which
Canada,
one?
Europe, Wales.
There.
Canada does it for them. Wales, all over Europe. You know, the U.S.
Searching that.
You should. Like, we're stuck in old times. You know, the U.S. is you're supposed. How I see it, you should only do your own taxes if you have your own business where they don't know or they can't account for your money that you're making. You know, that's when you would report what you made. But you know, the U.S. doesn't do it like that yet.
So H&R Block gave you your first. Why did you want to get into taxes?
Actually, I didn't. I did it. It kind of just came to me. So I was working in my family's company for appliance repair. I met my close friend, Anna Karen, and for about 2 years, she was like, the county is the same as H&R Block, because she worked for Block. And she was like, you should just come and you'll make money. And, you know, I was like, no, because people are weird when it comes to their money. And I was like, I don't want to get involved. She's like, it's the same thing. It's accounting. It's the same thing we're doing here. Just do it. And so then she's like, you know what? Why don't you just get certified, take the course. If you don't like it after the course, then nothing gained, nothing lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, after 2 years, when I finally did turn 18, I was like, you know what? Fine. Let me try it. And I loved it. I love numbers.
You do.
And so I started working with Block with her. And I liked helping people. I liked helping them understand their benefits, their credits. And, you know, when they're having tough times, they're like, man, we really need the money. I understand that. I come from a large family. My parents did everything on their own. Yeah. And they need that additional income at the end of the year, you know? And that's how I kind of got into it. For years, I was with Block. I love the education. But I was what they considered an ace in the H&R Block. So I went to whatever office wasn't making money. I would be sent there so I could raise the income amounts. But
so you got really good.
Oh yeah, I'm not a math whiz, but math
Whizzer.
Whiz.
Huh?
But if you give me the formula, I got it. I love numbers. Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna love it as much as I do. I could sit there and do it all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Well, I do. I like it. I like helping people. I like people, you know, when they're like, damn, they didn't expect to get this, or they didn't know they could qualify for this, and they get what they needed, you know?
Okay.
That's what I liked.
That's dope. So you, without realizing within, it was a little bit of love for the numbers, but more satisfaction for the fact that you can get somebody truly the most out of their refund. And I like some people that advertise, especially right now.
A lot of people advertise, have false advertisements. That's something I hate with a passion of 1,000 burning suns.
What is the most leading part about that?
You know those little signs that they have in the corners where for one kid you'll get $6,557. That is not true.
There's actual like that?
Yes, and that is so misleading because that's not even accurate. It's
and it's not illegal to do that.
It's not, because technically they can get that, not just for the top tax credit. It's for other credits that they add on. But people will come to me, well, how come over here they said I'm going to get this much? I was like, because they're doing it wrong. They're misleading you. I'm telling you, this is what you're going to get. And this is all on the IRS website. This is the credit, child tax credit. This is how much you'll get for this per kid. Then the earned income credit. You know, it all adds up together. Yes.
So you bring the receipts instead of just because, like you said earlier, it's their money.
It's their money.
Get funny about their money.
I treat it like it's my money.
Yeah.
I wish it was mine. Some of these people begin a lot.
But it's important for you to make sure that because you know that people get funny about their business. You need to show them what the other person told them that might not be 100% compared to what it shows on the IRS website. Not that you just
and they're over
pull
here,
it out.
and they're over here thinking that they're either entitled to more when they're not.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at me like, well, you must not be knowing what you're doing because you're not giving me this 6,000, this 10,000 that these other people are offering me. I'm like, yeah, because they're doing it chueco.
So if they go with the other person, that they decide, because whatever you show the receipts, they don't like it, they need the money, they go to another person. What are the consequences for them going to that person not doing it correctly? Chueco will be wrongly.
Look, what I tell people is,
she stood up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can get you the 10, 15 you want, 15,000. I know how to make it happen. I can take your 500 you're going to pay me. And that's after that, I'm gone. That's not my responsibility. When the IRS, they might not. They have up to 7 years to audit you. You may be lucky and never get audited. But when you do get audited, which are the chances more than likely, not only do you have to pay back the money, you are fined, and now you're disallowed every credit for the next 7 years. And your 1040 is going to be red flag. Everything's going to be looked with a fine-tooth comb. So now it's more complicated for you just because you wanted a little more than, what you were owed. And it makes me so mad because so many people get taken advantage like that. I had one client a few years ago who, because she didn't know, she didn't work, never worked a day in her life, but she had 2 kids. So she went to a mom and pop shop. I always call them that, those little tramos. And she was like, I have 2 kids. So she was getting back $9,000, $10,000, $15,000. What they were doing is they were creating fake W-2s saying that she went to a school, she had a business, all this, so she can get the max. And then after a few years, she was audited for 3 years. So she owed the IRS $35,000. And she came to, at the time I was working at Block, she came to Block. She's like, I don't understand why I owe. Then she tried to call the lady that she did it with for years, ghosted, blocked, couldn't even go find them at the same location. And they put that she prepared her own taxes and she didn't have any of her information. So I was like, I had to help her set up a government account with the IRS and get her tax history. And I was like, well, did you work at Ulta? She's like, no, I've never worked. I was like, you've never worked ever? She's like, no. So how did you file taxes? She's like, because I have 2 kids. I was like, ma'am, that's not how it works.
So they sold her on the idea that just because of those 2 kids without no work history, she had no idea that they were fabricating those W-2s.
She didn't know at all. She owed $35,000. And so then she ended up having to get a job. And then I told her, for the next few years, do not expect anything because they're just gonna take everything.
Okay, so let's say now I was vulnerable, gullible, and I didn't know any better. And then the tax person did me wrong, and now I'm going to you because now I have to pay. What can I do with the IRS to make sure that I can't pay them the $30,000. I just can't. What can the IRS do to try to help me out to make sure that I can still give them something, but I can still continue working?
They set up payment plans. That's an option. But what I tell most people like her, just work, and they're just going to take your taxes for the next few years. So when she got her job, the next year she came to me at H&R Block. She was supposed to get around $8,000 back for her 2 kids, and because I told her to make them take out the max taxes that you can.
And what is the max at your job?
About 15%. But you can actually ask them to take out an additional funds up to, I think, whatever number. But I told her, tell them to take an additional $200 every month, so she can pay it back faster. So that was $8,000. They just ate it all, so she didn't get anything back. And so for the next, I think she's still paying. She owes like about a few hundred now. And
they don't play. They can garnish your check. The IRS can garnish. Can you tell them what garnish your check means, please?
They'll take your money from your check, from your job. They'll call your job. They'll let HR
They have the legal right to do that.
Yes, they do. They'll call HR. They'll basically tell them, hey, this person owes us this money. They don't even need to give them an explanation. But how it happens is from now on, you need to take this from their check, and it's going to be kind of like transferred directly to the IRS.
And you'll see it as
and there's no way to stop it. There's no way to stop it unless if you get lucky and an IRS agent feels good during y'all's meeting, they're like, okay, well, we can set up a payment plan and reduce it. But
would an attorney try to help you to try to fix that and try to cut you some kind of deal? Because let's say like the lady.
I feel like in most cases, an attorney is not necessary. It will help. But it's when you owe or when something else on your IRS or your 1040 was done wrong. Like I have clients who they've done it, their birthday or their social was given wrong to the IRS and now they have to do an identity thing or prove that they have their dependents. That's when I think an attorney would be best.
Okay. What is the craziest tax situation you ran into?
Well, I just started doing taxes.
You just started?
Well, I've always been doing my family's taxes. Registered this year, so nothing too crazy yet.
No?
I think she's seen the crazy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I've been doing it for longer.
Yeah, she's been doing it for longer.
Okay, so not only you're an actual CPA.
Yes.
So and what led you to want to expand your education and get from just doing the tax certification to get an actual go into CPA?
I wanted to branch off from H&R Block because I was going to different offices. My main office, they don't pay us commission. They pay us hourly. That's their thing. Oh, that's why we'll pay attention to our clients. But they do give us kind of like a commission-based award system. So it's still, we want you in and out, in and out. Now, I have my own clients who I always put my notes so I can remember. This guy has this going on. He has this dependent. We're going to think about this. I had a gentleman who he was upfront that he was going to have cancellation of debt, which the IRS considers as income for some reason. Yeah.
Can you hear those?
And he told me that he was doing like a few. So for a good 2 years. So I put in the notes, he has a cancellation debt. So he's not going to get anything back for these 2 years. And as the person who goes to multiple offices, I always tell them, schedule my clients or let them know what office I'll be at. Or I'll just go and do them the day I'll be there. And someone new was like, no, I want the commission. So they lied to him saying I was no longer working there. They did his taxes. He was going to get back, according to them, $1,208. And so he did it with them because he's, I get more than with Rainbow, right? About a month later, towards the end of the season, he's like, hey, he calls me because I do give them my number. And he's like, hey, Rainbow, I just got a letter from the IRS saying that I owe them money. I was like, but you haven't came in to do your taxes. He's like, yes, I have.
Oh.
And I'm like,
that's
what? He's like, they said that you don't work there. And so I went back and I see it's in the notes. And I go to that tax roll. I'm like, for one, okay, you took my client, whatever. Why do you not look at my notes? Oh, well, I didn't know. Ugh. And so now my client owes and has fine because it's not even his, because he's a little slow, and I put like he is unaware of certain things. So make sure to ask for the cancellation of debt, the 1099.
So you want to make sure you detail with him to make sure that y'all get it in that right page, in the same page, to make sure you do it right.
So now he ended up having to pay them back and he owed them. And now he's going to be red flagged because of a simple mistake, because they just didn't read the notes. And then it started happening with more clients because they were more concerned about making money. And I was like,
is that like a big issue during this tax season in general?
In general, yes. They're just, trying to get the client the money.
Everybody and their mama I see doing taxes. Don't get me wrong. I don't knock the hustle, but I know certain things when they say if it's too good to be true, it's probably not. Go with your gut that it's not. I mean, the taxes, it's funny as it sounds and it's crazy how this country, we're fighting against taxes. They do make sense because they do provide great services for the things that we need. Some certain people, maybe you don't agree with Mike, but I'm saying certain things are needed, right?
No, the taxes we pay for the year, yes.
That they're actually fun. The extra stuff, I don't agree with, but as far as the regular stuff, it does.
As all I can say to that is a tax pro, an experienced tax pro, and a lot of will say we're not supposed to pay taxes. At the and then those taxes.
I don't want you to get in trouble, but I've seen the same video you've seen as far as.
On this one.
But yeah.
I seen the same video you've seen about the reason why we're not supposed to pay taxes.
Yeah, we're not. But I feel like a lot of people take advantage and they're uneducated, and it's just they don't care. Like as I've seen people, even at Block, they just want the money. And it's easy. It's easy to get someone, tell them, hey, you do this and do that. And then all other things, another issue is they don't even give them the right information because it gets complicated. Like I had a client who she didn't know that she can claim her disabled son that she's been taking care of all his life because he is disabled. Because then they don't take their time to like, okay, well, who are you? Because I like to sit and talk. Okay, tell me everything so I know what I can do for you, what you need. And so she had a disabled son, and she's never claimed him. And it's because it's more complicated.
It is, but that's crazy because they want to get the quick buck.
But they don't want to help the person.
But they don't want to help the person with the other side that could benefit too, because it gets too complicated.
Yeah, so she's actually, unfortunately, the IRS changed it for I-10 people, so they couldn't go back and fix their taxes once they got citizenship. So now you can only go back 3 years to get credits that you were owed. So she is owed right now from these past 3 years $10,000 from not claiming her son these past years. And this year she's going to get, if I remember right, like $6,000. And she's like, whoa, I only always get like 1,200, 2,000 at most. I'm like, yeah, because you've never claimed your son that you are able to claim. It's your right to claim.
But they owe them a whole lot more back stuff. But don't let you owe some back taxes.
Oh, they'll come get you for their money. So yeah.
They'll take your check, but they won't give you
But
yours.
a lot of tax pros at Block and at like Jackson, don't come for me, people. They don't sit there and like, hey, when I work for them, I didn't care. I'm getting paid the same rate hourly. I don't care about the commissions. I'll sit there and talk to you all day, you know?
Do you think because it's not that they don't want to, it's because the lack of knowledge and training? Like you have a
We're trained very on Block. They have
so they
have courses. Like I have all my certificates that I gained because once I wanted to leave, I was like, okay, I want to leave, but I'm gonna get everything that I can get, all the knowledge. As long as you work for them, there's so many courses. So military taxes, stocks, bonds. Military taxes, no. Depending if they're on active duty, it's a little different. But no, it's simple, step by step. The formula, everything's there. It's just a lot of reading and a lot of
LES, they call it? Oh, the LES, the document, the pay stub. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
You're thinking of something. Oh,
okay.
Stocks, bonds, everything's there, and everything's on the IRS website. It's just reading and educating yourself. And then with H&R Block, as long as you work for them, you can get all these certifications for free and all the classes and all the coursework for free. So I was like, I'm going to get everything I can get before I go.
Okay, why did you had a feeling of helping the people, like Latinos more, that you had like a passion to make sure that they were taken care of? Why?
I come from immigrant parents and I saw them struggle. And like I said, I come from, I have 13 siblings. They did it on their own. My mom and my dad, we worked, we started, I had my first job at 12 with my family. We were saying, on the side of the road, selling, the garage sales and the birds. And we had a tramo Garibaldi Bazaar. My family started a appliance repair company that's huge now. And I see how people try to take advantage of people who, like my mom, she only spoke Spanish. She refused to learn how to speak English because she was always convinced we're going to go back to Nicaragua. And as a child, you know how you translate for your parents. People try to take advantage of us or of our people just because we're different.
And they don't know the language.
And that just, for no reason. It's, I hate to say it, but it's effed up, for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate about helping my community for that reason because I saw my parents struggle.
That's awesome. Appreciate it. Well, we are running short on time. However, I appreciate everything that you shared with us. Thank you very much. Not only in addition, before I let you go, you also do CPA, but so you deal with bonds and like self-employed and all that as well, correct?
Yes.
And the I-10 for an illegal, they can use that to file
to work,
taxes,
yes.
to work and to file for their taxes, but they don't get anything back.
Oh, unfortunately, no. It only gives you basically the additional child tax credit or additional dependent care credit.
Okay.
It's not, super beneficial, but also people use it for I-10s to get their citizenship. But no, they don't really get, how a regular citizen would get like 5,000.
So for people that keep saying that, or certain people say they're stealing your jobs or whatever, those taxes that the people use for the I-10 that they filed, they don't get that money back at all, right? And that goes and stays with the government.
Yep. And you know what I loved when I was getting my certification as a CAA what I learned is not only does that go to a undisclosed like federal agency, unfortunately, they know how many undocumented immigrants are here. And you know how ICE codes pick people up from their houses or their jobs? How do you think they know? It's because they file taxes. And they have, you know, how that we don't know how many people. Oh, they know. And they use, they know where they are. That's how they pick them up, unfortunately. So it's a...
But that money would disappear if they get everybody that they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's sad. That's for another day, but man. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end it. I appreciate you very much sharing what I have. Real quickly, social media, where can they reach you out? Where can they book, like, you know, get you as a notary? Or where can they go for you to review your business?
Well, for me, Rainbow Prison Services, my number is 972-674-9561.
And me, you can find me on Facebook and Google, Norma J's Mobile Notary and Tax Services, 214-215-7796.
And shout-outs, any shout-outs do you have? Start with Norma.
All our friends and family that have supported us, they be sharing posts and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up. But anytime I see a notary, you have, before I let you go, you have a shirt business that you started in the pandemic. So you saw that the masks in 2020 were like not at all very cute.
Yeah.
And you started doing masks and they were in high demand. And after that, you started getting into shirts.
Shirt
and
embroidery.
she made me this amazing shirt, package and all. All our guests don't have to bring us shirts, but if you have to bring us a shirt, we appreciate it very
now
much.
The standard has been set.
The print looks amazing. And so that's another one. So not only your family is got like an entrepreneur spirit and you being continuing, but you too. Not only you have your notary business, but you have this other business that you do that is a shirt, which again, it looks freaking beautiful. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You didn't have to. I told you you didn't.
I know. I'm not charging him, by the way.
Oh, but she did put me a paper so I can go get her notary services. I'm just kidding.
Well, there is structure because some people don't know how to wash your clothes. That's really his
That'll be me. No.
Item's bill.
Oh, is that my bill?
They pay me like a month later.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the knowledge that you have. There's a whole lot more things. If anybody wants to have questions, again, y'all have your social media so they can answer any questions. It seems like y'all be helpful to, sit with a consultation or whatever the case might be. So yeah,
and I do free consultations on the phone. I do upfront pricing, all on the phone. So we're not. I don't want to go there because I know a lot of people they'll give a quote and then when you get there, it's like nope, not me. It's what I tell you on the phone is what's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. Okay, so what is? We're going to start with Norma. What is an important lesson that you learned in your business, whether it be notary or it be the shirts, that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else?
Your prices are your prices, and that's including for family and friends. Don't try to give them no discount just because you're cool with them, because that's how you eat and that's how your family eats.
And they got to respect that. If somebody says that you're a friend,
don't tell your
the homie hookup is a freaking horrible thing because it's not. They're not respecting your family.
You will always post like strangers will support you.
Yes, strangers support more than your friends and family.
That is
because that's not cool at all. Because that's how you make your living. That's how you provide for your family. Like they have to respect that. You have to be able to willing to pay the full price for them. That's not.
Hey, give me the full price for that shirt.
Got you. I was willing.
No.
Didn't I say
that was a
exception?
Exception.
Right here, Carlos insert screenshot. I told her I will pay you for it.
No, I know you did, but I told you no. It was a gift because you had us here.
Appreciate it. But here's the bill though in the back. My invoice. It's gonna have to. Okay, what about yourself? Same question. What is an important lesson that you learned in the tax business that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else?
Explain everything thoroughly, for one, and don't take it so hard when they leave. Because I have like for this year, unfortunately the IRS changed because they're trying to get that pandemic money back. They changed the child tax credits and the earned income credits amount and phase out. And I've actually personally lost clients that I've had for years because they're like, oh, you're not doing it right because last year I made the same and how come I not make it? Don't take it personal. Like now I don't, but like in the beginning I did because I'm like, I know because I started so young and I've had someone look at me and say, you're just too young to handle our taxes.
Not to mention with all the competition and the people that are not
just
correct. It is a numbers game though, the people that want to do it right. So when they come to you, just know that you're going to get it done right.
Yeah. I just, trust yourself, trust your instinct.
This This was a deeper question, but I hope you are good with it. So usually when I wake up, I say a saying that I got from this guru in India, which I like the words. I'm not immortal, I am mortal, and I will die one day. That's just something that I say to make me realize that I understand I'm not here forever and I need to hurry up and do things to get them done immediately. And I wish a long, prosperous life. However, at the end, what do you want people to think about your life? We'll start with Rainbow.
Just short and quick, because we're about to be done.
That I left a good legacy and I lived a good life and I've made people feel at home.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
I just want people to remember me.
Yeah.
Not just because of my attitude and me being silly and stuff, but because I've helped them. That's what I want to leave behind.
Awesome. I appreciate you. With all the beautiful work that y'all do, I think y'all really take pride in what y'all doing. And not to mention, you're from being Nicaragua, Mexicana, and they're helping I'm pretty sure all kinds of people from all different kinds of walks of life, Latinos, you know?
Yep.
To me, I feel like the global Latin factor is the impact that we do on not only the world, but in different places. So to me, both of y'all are definitely a global Latin factor. So Norma and Rainbow, y'all are a global Latin factor. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. No weather clap. Thank y'all. All righty. This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We are human. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is the world. Until next time. Bye. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell. It means a lot to us. You don't understand how much you are appreciated whenever you do that. It helps us so much. And we are quickly moving on different platforms of the Latino community so we can bring you a lot more important content about Latinos. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you very much.
What is de la Vigo? Walks like a pedo, but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana, Henry's from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, he don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and fame, but Juan flamingo is not walking the same. Balaje de la flauta en banana. Es una vida loca.